I'm sure you've heard of as-is properties and probably some horror stories associated with them. But as-is doesn't always mean someone is trying to hide something. Actually, it very rarely means that. But there's a lot that you need to know about this term and what it's used for in order for you to make a better decision if you're shopping here in Sudbury. So like, comment, subscribe if it helps. Let's get right into it. Don't want to waste your time. So as is, what it means is the property in its current condition. It's often put in there to protect the sellers in a way because they often don't know the actual condition of the property. So I'll get into who normally puts it in there. But it's kind of a funny term because technically any house that's on the market is as is. It's a buyer beware, right? You can do your inspection. You can go walk through the house and see anything that's wrong with it and then buy it as is. So it's a term that's put in there, doesn't have much legal standing because if you know about an issue, you still need to disclose it. So let's get into who normally uses them. Number one is estate and power of attorneys. Kids or grandkids selling it for their grandparents or parents that have passed or that are going to a home. So they haven't often lived there in the last couple years or 20 years, so they don't know all the little intricacies of the house. So they say as is because they don't want to guarantee it's in perfect condition when they haven't lived there in a while. So that's just kind of protecting themselves, right? It's as is. We don't want to have to disclose anything that we don't know is wrong. But it's not them hiding something in most cases. Number two is bank sales. The bank never actually goes to the property, so they have no idea what they're selling. So they go a step further. They have usually a Schedule B that you have to sign, which says they have absolutely no control over the property in its current condition. So you have to buy it as is, but it's not just as is. There's a lot more that goes into the clause there. Number three, you often see with tenanted properties, if it's a single family home and tenants have lived there for the last 5 years, someone might say as is because they don't, again, kind of like the grandparents thing, they don't know what could be wrong if there's a little bit of a tap leaking, right? So they're just trying to protect themselves. Again, as you can see, it's kind of a theme. And the fourth one is sometimes an older person, an elderly that's selling their house that doesn't have the means to do the repairs, the time or money. So they'll often say, hey, I just want to sell it as is. I don't want to have to worry about any of these issues. The benefits of as is are sometimes, not often, honestly, because there's not that big of a difference, but sometimes they're a little bit of a better deal. So maybe that's why you're looking at one right now. You get to often customize it to the way that you want. So if you're doing the repairs, fixing it up, it's usually properties that are in a little bit less good condition that have the as is in there. So it's more of a project, so you get to make it your own. And then often because of these reasons, it also could be a quicker sale. So you can jump in, get ready. And then the cons, so the risk. There's a few things that you need to keep in mind here. Number one is the financing. If the bank sees it in the description, they might want an appraisal. So depending on the condition of the property, or they might even just flat out say, no, I've seen that before. So there's certain steps you can take before the bank gets the MLS sheet to make sure that you're gonna get financing. So talk to your mortgage agent and your realtor before purchasing the property, of course. Number two is there could be hidden issues. Often it's a house that's a little bit more let go, so you might run into some unforeseen repairs or maintenance. But honestly, that could happen with any house. After going through everything, do I believe that buying a house that says as is risky? I don't think so at all, because you could still do your full inspection. No one's saying that you can't do an inspection, you can't look through the property. An inspection is gonna find anything that is visible or that is possible to find. And if it's not findable, the homeowner probably doesn't even know about it, right? Unless it's water in the basement that's pretty clear, or that they are trying to hide, but generally speaking, it's something that you can find during the inspection. So you're buying it as is, but you know what to expect, right? It'll be like any house. If something does come up, it's something that you couldn't predict. Every house has of its little quirks, right? So that's buying a house as is. There are some risks, a little bit, not as much as you may believe. It's not used as much as people think to hide issues, right? Like I've never been to a listing presentation where they have some issues they're telling me about that we're gonna disclose, and I say, you know what, let's not disclose, let's just say as is, because that's just really bad practice. Again, I haven't really seen that happen to my clients either. I've never had a client buy an as-is property and have issues that weren't foreseen, just random issues that you can get at any house. So that's my final words, and I will see you guys in the next video.